Hey, my legion, how y'all doing today? Before I get started with the movie review, a couple people been asking me where's the venison sandwich review. They don't have crap like that around here. Not in my Arby's. I mean, Arby's is way in the area, and they don't. I highly doubt they're selling it there. I mean, we don't get anything, like that. Uh, but I do have a review of the movie 1922, which just premiered on Netflix last night. Another Stephen King adaptation. I looked, Chris. I assume Chris Stuckman's going to be reviewing it, but I haven't seen his review yet. And I watched it, and I wanted to give you my opinion of the film. Now, 1922 was from a movie called, from a book, novella. Because sometimes Stephen King he does like different types of books. He'll do like one that's just like a big novel. He'll do like one that's a bunch of short stories, and then he'll do one like maybe three or four like different seasons, different novellas and stuff like that. And this was from a book he did called Full Dark, No Stars. I remember reading back in, well, it came out in 2010. I don't know if I read it in 2011 or not. I can't remember the exact time I read it. But these were stories that are really dark, no light at the end of the tunnel. And this is a prime example. With a movie like It, which I remember seeing in the theaters, and I loved It. I mean, this is just like what I said with Gerald's Game. With It, there was bits of humor and stuff like that left you off. There were big bits of humor. In Gerald's Game, there was like a teeny tiny amount of humor in it. In 1922, there isn't no humor in it. It's all serious and really creepy and unnerving and stuff like that. Really cool. The music really helps a lot. And what this involves is like this farmer that has a farm that's like I think 80 acres, and then his wife ends up inheriting another adjoining 100 acres from her dad who passed away. And they said that I believe it was the Carrington Company wants to buy her 100 acres and make it into like a slaughterhouse for hogs and stuff like that. And they said that would make his farmland pretty much unusable. That's what he said. It would probably ruin his farming business. And what he wanted to do was, he said he would eventually buy the. She wanted to leave and go to Omaha. And she wanted to. What her plan was, she was getting tired of the farming life and stuff like that because they're there with her son, right? And that's all his son knows is the farming life. And she wanted to go to Omaha to start a dress shop or something like that. And then she said that her plan was to sell to them and then to maybe split the money and get a divorce. Well, her husband wasn't into that. He didn't want to leave that. He said he didn't want his son to leave the only life he's ever known. His son was in love with this one girl that from the neighbors. And the one neighbor was played by the only really recognizable cast member. Make sure I got his name right. Neil McDonough. But he's not in the movie that much. I probably pronounced his name wrong. And so he plans on killing his wife, the husband. And he eventually talks his son into doing it. And they end up hiding her in the well. Let's see if I get this. No. They end up hiding her in the well. Now, with Stephen King's book, he ramps up the yuckiness. There's yuckiness in this movie. There's lots of rats. I know my dad probably would like the movie, but he hated rats. So if you're not a fan of rats, you won't like the movie. Well, I don't really like rats either, but it's a really creepy movie. And basically, things start unraveling from there. Because, it's kind of like his version of like the immortal, the very famous Edgar Allan Poe story, The Telltale Heart, where murder occurs and then things go downhill from there. And they put a really good quote in there. He said, murder is sin, and then he said, murder is also a lot of work. And that's true in this film. Now, this is filmed like a period piece back in the 20s, and the dialogue fits the period piece real well, I think. And not like, because sometimes they'll have like dialogue that you don't find believable. A perfect example is a movie called My Soul to Take. I'm not picking on Wes Craven though, but there was this one religious coach. said turn up the prayer conditioning and stuff like that. I remember, like, people don't talk like that, and the whole movie was like that. But the dialogue's very convincing in here. One thing is, if you watch the film, definitely put on a closed captioning, because the star of the movie, Walt, the guy who kills his wife, he mumbles a lot, and sometimes it's hard to understand exactly what he's saying. With closed captioning, it works well, but it's very fitting with his character, though. Very believable. And this movie is very effective. I want to dedicate to my buddy John Walkowitz, because I was telling him about Gerald's Game. He loved Gerald's Game. He might not know about 1922 because it's a lesser known story of Stephen King's, because it was like in that book. I don't know how well Fool's Dark No Stars did. I don't know how much people remember the book 1920. I don't remember that well, the story. I remember the stuff in the well, though, how yucky it was. I remember all that stuff. But I really enjoyed it. It's really good. It's actually fantastic. And it's just as good as Gerald's Game, in my opinion. Now, hopefully Netflix will keep doing some more Stephen King adaptation, because I don't think, this is a movie that I don't think would have done that well at the box office. Or maybe it would have. You never know. The way things are nowadays. It might have done well. But, I mean, it's an incredible film. And I give it a full-on 10 out of 10. I think you'll all like the movie. And it's very good. It's on Netflix. It just premiered yesterday. I started watching it last night and then I went to bed. I can't recommend enough. Full on 10 out of 10. It's a great, great film. So I hope you like this video. Until next time, everybody, please take care, my legion. Maybe I'll find a venison sandwich somewhere down the road, but not today. It's only available for one day only, so I don't know. It's just a marketing ploy. I don't know I don't think they have any in Erie and like that. It's only in select places, I think. So, I hope you like this video and take care, everyone.